A mini budget, but this a generational crisis. Inflation at a level not seen for 3 decades, and it's going to get worse.
Is there more pain to come, Chancellor?
Rishi Sunak under pressure to meet the scale of this moment, armed with a statement that for so many will decide if they can heat their homes and feed their families.
Rishi Sunak.
From COVID to cost of living, the emergency chancellor promising to step in again.
People should know that we will stand by them as we have throughout the last 2 years. Today, I can announce, for only the second time in 20 years, fuel duty will be cut. Not by 1, not even by 2, but by 5 pence per litre. The biggest cut to all fuel duty rates ever.
A year-long cut on fuel duty. Labour bench is unimpressed. But the big reveal's still to come, easing the pain on the April national insurance hike.
Our current plan is to increase the NICS threshold this year by £300. But I'm not going to do that, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to increase it by the full £3,000. From this July, people will be able to earn £12,570 a year without paying a single penny of income tax or national insurance.
And a tax promise from a chancellor already eyeing the next election.
I can confirm, before the end of this Parliament, in 2024, for the first time in 16 years, the basic rate of income tax will be cut from 20 to 19 pence in the pound. A tax cut for workers, for pensioners, for savers. A £5 billion tax cut for 30 million people.
The opposition clear this simply not enough.
Inflation is at its highest level for 30 years and rising. Energy prices at record highs. People are worried sick. For all his words, it is clear that the Chancellor does not understand the scale of the challenge.
Exactly.
Tax cuts always put a spring in the step of Conservative MPs, but the outlook far from sunny. Official figures forecast the biggest fall in living standards this year since the 1950s. And minimal help today for the worst off.
What the Chancellor did today was to help a little bit for people on low to moderate earnings, but he did nothing at all, actually, for people who are out of work and dependent on benefits, and they're really perhaps going to find it the biggest struggle over the next several months. When that next rise in energy prices comes, next one in April, another one around October, I think there will be more pressure on the Chancellor because there are going to be more households, particularly, again, the very poorest, who are really going to be struggling at that point.
The Chancellor on a PR visit to a forecourt. Petrol price is a big part of the problem.
30 quid, 30 pounds.
He surely knows the answer to that. For all the rhetoric around tax cuts, this mini-budget really lived up to name today. This a package of measures that barely even scratches the surface when it comes to dealing with the biggest fall in living standards in over 60 years. The Chancellor for now is biding his time in the face of huge economic uncertainty. But one ally did concede to me tonight that Mr Sunak is likely to have to do more in the autumn, if not before. A Chancellor who promised to stand behind people in the pandemic, now with plenty to live up to, and voters may punish him and his party if they feel abandoned. Beth Rigby, Sky News.